Welcome students to our maths class, chapter 11, ratio proportion. Let's start with practice set 29. Okay, now in practice set 29, we are going to study the unitary method. Now what is the unitary method? Now this is just a small example given on page number 59. That is, this is a girl, Vijaya, who goes to the shop to buy some pens. She wants to gift pens to her friend. Okay, so she goes to the shop and she asks the price of pens. So when the shopkeeper tells her, the shopkeeper tells her the cost of dozen pens. Now 1 dozen means 12 pens. Okay, so the cost of 12 pens is 84. The shopkeeper tells us 1 dozen, okay, pens will cost her rupees 84. But Vijaya wants only 7 pens. She doesn't want 12 pens. So in that case, the shopkeeper calculates and tells her the price of 7 pens. So how this calculation can be done? By unitary method. Now if it is half dozen, 1 dozen is 84. So half dozen means we have to make it half. So that calculation is easier. Okay, so half dozen will cost us 42 rupees. Okay, that we can do because we have to just make it half and make it divide by 2. But when it is 7 pens, how to calculate fast or how can we do the calculation? We will do it by the unitary method. Now what is unitary method? In this unitary method word, the unit has come, unit. Okay, and we all know unit means 1. The meaning of unit is 1. So basically in this unitary method, first we will find for 1. Now they have given cost of dozen pens. Now dozen pens mean 12 pens. So 12 pens will cost 84 rupees. In that case, first we have to find for 1 pen. When we are finding for 1 pen, we have to divide. In my earlier videos also I have told you, when we have to find for less, we divide. When we have to find for more, then we have to multiply. Now 12 pens cost is given and we have to find for 1 pen. So we have to find for lesser pens. So we will divide. Now when we are dividing, 84 divided by 12. Now if 1 pen will be costing rupees 7. Okay, when we divide this 84 divided by 12, so 1 pen is equal to 7 rupees. So if 1 pen is 7 rupees, now she wants 7 pens. So 7 pens will cost how much? It is cost of 1 pen is given and we have to find for many. So we will multiply. So 7 into 7, which is equal to rupees 49. So cost of 7 pens is 49. So in this unitary method, basically, first we have to find for 1. And then we have to find for how much is asked. So first get the value of 1, cost of 1. And then we will find the cost of how much is asked. Okay, that is only given on page number 60 here, which is important. Please mark that statement on page number 60 just before the practice set. Find the cost of one article from that of many by division. So to find for 1, we have to divide. Then find the cost of many articles from the 1 by multiplication. So to find for 1, we divide, and to find for many from 1, we multiply. Okay, this method is the unitary method. So please mark the statements. With this, we start with practice set 29. In this practice set 29, the 3rd, 4th, 8th and 9th sum are deleted. So please make this marking in your textbook, 3rd, 4th, 8th and 9th. So we will be doing 1st, 2nd, 5th, 6th and 7th. Okay. Now the first sum here, if 20 meters of cloth cost rupees 3,600, find the cost of 16 meters of cloth. Now cost of 20 meters cloth is given. It is 3,600 and cost of 16 meters is asked. Okay, so this we are going to solve by the unitary method. That is, first we'll find for 1 meter and then we'll go to find for 16 meters. Okay, so how it has to be written? Solution. Okay, so cost of 20 meters of cloth is equal to rupees 3,600. So in unitary method, first we'll find for 1 meter. Therefore, cost of 1 meter of cloth. So what we have to do here? We have to divide. Okay. So 3600 divided by 20. Okay. Now you have to show this division. That is, you do by this method, or you do by directly this method, or you can do by this method here. Okay, any one method, but you show whichever method calculation you are doing, you have to show this. Okay, so I'll show you by this method. That is 0 and 0 is cancelled. Okay, 2 ones are 2, so 1 we carry. 2 8s are 16 and 2 zeros are. Okay. Okay, so the cost of 1 meter, therefore cost of 1 meter of cloth is equal to rupees 180. Okay, now we have to find the cost of 16 meters. So cost of 16 meter of cloth, we have to multiply, because in unitary method first we have to find for 1. When we are finding for 1, we will divide, and then we have to find for many from 1. So the cost of 1 is given and we have to find for many, so we will multiply. So what we have to multiply? We'll multiply 180 multiply by 16. Okay. Even this calculation, you can show it here. 180 multiply by 16. Okay, this calculation you all can do, and whatever answer we get answer as 2880. See that you do this calculation. Okay, and the final answer, therefore the cost of 16 meters of cloth, therefore the cost of 16 meter of cloth is rupees 2880. Okay, now the second sum, find the cost of 8 kg of rice if the cost of 10 kg is rupees 325. So here we have to find for 8 kgs. They have given the cost of 10 kgs of rice. Okay, so the cost of 10 kg of rice is rupees 325, and we have to find for 8 kg of rice. Again here by unitary method, first we will find for 1 kg and then we will find for 8 kgs. Okay. So here the cost of 10 kg of rice is equal to rupees 325. We have to find for 8 kgs. Directly we cannot find for 8 kgs. Therefore we will find the cost of 1 kg of rice. And as I told you, for 1 kg we need to divide. So we have to divide 325 upon 10. Okay, now the other method is that instead of doing this division, we will keep this as it is. Okay, so this we will keep as rupees 325 upon 10, because we don't want this answer, our final answer will be different. So we will keep this as it is in the form of a fraction, because it will be easier for us for calculation. The first sum I showed you how you will do the calculation and you will multiply. Here this is another method where you can just leave it as it is, and for further calculation you can use. So if the cost of 10 kg of rice is 325, then the cost of 1 kg is equal to 325 divided by 10. Okay, that much rupees. Now the sum is to find the cost of 8 kgs of rice. Now if cost of 1 kg of rice is this, okay, cost of 8 kgs we have to multiply. Whenever you have to find for more from 1 kg, we have to find more kgs. Okay, so we will multiply. And what is the multiplication? We will multiply this 325 upon 10 into 8. So 325 upon 10 into 8. Now I told you all to leave this because otherwise this will be a decimal. If you solve this, it will be a decimal. And then again to multiply a decimal, you have to do that decimal multiplication. It is nothing wrong. You can do that. You can convert this into a decimal, divide and then multiply. Yes, that is also okay. Which I have done in the first sum. Okay. Or the second method I have shown you, that just leave this as a fraction. Okay. And further you use it when you are multiplying. So when we multiply this 8 if you want, you can multiply this 325 multiply by 8. Okay, and you will get 2600 upon 10. And the 0 and 0 gets cancelled and we get as rupees 260. Calculation you can do according to your wish, but your answer should be correct and calculation should be correct. Okay, therefore the cost of 8 kgs of rice is equal to rupees 260 is our final answer. Okay, now the fifth sum. A car traveling at a uniform speed covers a distance of 165 kilometers in 3 hours. At the same speed, how long will it take to cover a distance of 330 kilometers? This is the first thing asked to find. And in second, how far will it travel in 8 hours? Now see here, children, they have given 2 questions. The information is given only 1, but we have to solve 2 questions on that. First thing is, what is the information? A car is traveling with a uniform speed. The speed is not changing and it covers a distance of 165 kilometers in 3 hours. Okay, the first question is, how long it will take to cover 330 kilometers? So if 165 kilometers is covering in 3 hours, then for 330 kilometers, how many hours? So first we have to find for 1 kilometer. Once we find for 1 kilometer, then we can find for 330 kilometers. Okay. So 165 kilometer is covered in 3 hours. Therefore 1 kilometer in how many hours? So we will divide. And then from 1 kilometer how many hours we will get, that we will multiply to find for 330 kilometers. Now the second question is, how far will it travel in 8 hours? Now for 3 hours it is taking, in 3 hours the car was able to cover 165 kilometers. 3 hours car covered 165 kilometers. Then we'll find for 1 hour. In 1 hour how much? So we will divide. Okay, and then for 8 hours we will multiply that answer with 8. Okay, so method is same but 2 different questions are asked. So we begin our sum here. The distance of the car travelled for 165 kilometers were travelled in 3 hours. Okay, so we have to find how much distance is covered in 1 kilometer. Because further we have to find for more kilometers. Okay, further we have to find for 330 kilometers. So before finding for 330 kilometers, we should know 1 kilometer. Correct? So for 1 kilometer, the car travelled 1 multiplied by 3 divided by 165, or directly 3 divided by 165 you can do. But if you keep this habit of writing in this way, it will be helpful. So if 165 kilometers were travelled in 3 hours, then 1 kilometer was travelled in how much time? So 1 multiplied by 3, look at the calculation, 1 multiplied by 3, this we have to multiply and this we have to divide. So this cross we have to multiply. See that you write kilometer, kilometer below each other and hours and hours. So below kilometer you should write kilometer. So we will multiply 1 multiply by 3 divided by 165. So 1 3s are 3 upon 165 hours. Now as I told you, we will not calculate. In the earlier somehow I just left it. We will just leave this. Instead of getting a decimal and making our calculation more complicated, we will just leave this. Okay, because this is not our final answer. Our final answer is further. Now 1 kilometer is so many hours. Therefore for 330 kilometers how much? So 330 multiplied by this for 1 kilometer. Now we can do cross multiplication and we can divide. Now we can check with this first. So 3 1s are, 3 1s are, 3 zeros are. Okay, then 3 5s are 15, carry 1, 3 5s are 15. Okay, then again 11 1s are, zeros are, 11 5s are 55. Okay, 5 1s are, 5 2s are. So answer is 3 2s are 6. You can do this calculation as you wish. You can first do with 3 or first you can do with 330. It's up to you. 6 hours. So the first answer we got, that is the distance traveled in 330 kilometers is 6 hours. Now the second question is, if the distance traveled in 3 hours is 165, then we have to find for 8 hours. Now before getting for 8 hours, we need to find for 1 hour. Okay, so distance traveled in 1 hour. I said hours and hours should come one below the other, and kilometers and the kilometers. So for 3 hours, 165 kilometers. Therefore for 1 hour, how much? So this cross we will multiply. 1 into 165 divided by 3. 165 into 1 is 165 upon 3. So this many kilometers. As I told you again, we will not calculate and find this. Instead of getting a decimal, we will just leave it, and we will, if you want, you can calculate, no problem. Here, see here, further, if it's a simple calculation, we will do. So here, simple calculation is there, so we have done here 55. Okay, or you can even leave it like this, earlier as I have done. You can leave it like this, or you can get the final answer. If it is a whole number, then we can do. And here it was a whole number. So 55 kilometers. 3 ones are 3 5s are 15. 3 5s are 15. 55. Okay. Now if for 1 hour it is 55 kilometers, for 8 hours, 8 into 55. So this into this, as I told you, keep a habit of this multiply by this divided by this. So 8 into 55 divided by 1, which is equal to 8 into 55, 440 kilometers. Okay. So in 8 hours, 440 kilometers. The next sum, sixth sum is for homework. So please do it for homework. And now we'll do the seventh sum. At a sugar factory, 5,376 kilograms of sugar can be obtained from 48 tons of sugar cane. If Savita Dai has grown 50 tons of sugar cane, how much sugar will it yield? Okay, so again, they have given 48 tons of sugar cane was required to make 5,376 kgs of sugar. So, if 50 tons of sugar cane is there, how much sugar cane? So, instead of finding for 50 tons first, we will find for 1 ton. Okay. So, you will see here, from 48 tons of sugar cane, 5,376 kgs of sugar is obtained. Now, we want to find for 50 tons. Savita Bai has grown 50 tons of sugar cane. So, how much she will get? So, before that, instead of finding for 50 tons, we will find for 1 ton. And for 1 ton, we need to divide. So, therefore, from 1 ton of sugar cane, we will divide 5376 upon 48. Or what I told you just now, keep a habit of writing tons below tons and then kgs, and we multiply this. This cross we will multiply. 1 multiplied by 5376 divided by 48. As I have shown also here. And 1 into 5376 is 5376 only upon 48. Now if we are getting a proper whole number, then we can calculate, or else you will leave this as it is. But we can calculate this, and from this calculation we got it as 112 kgs. You can even leave this, and then when you are taking, you can multiply with the 50 tons. Okay, even that can be done. So here after dividing, we are getting 112 kgs. Now if 1 ton of sugar cane is 112 kgs of sugar, then 50 tons of sugar cane, 50 multiplied by 112. Okay, and if you have not calculated and you have just kept this answer, then 50 you have to multiply by this, and then you have to do the calculation. Okay, so since I have divided here and I have got the full number, whole number here, 50 multiplied by 112 is 5,600 kgs of sugar cane. Okay, and then we need to write the final answer. From 50 tons of sugar cane, 5,600 kg of sugar is obtained. So you need to write the final statement. Please complete practice set 28 and practice set 29 in your notebook. Thank you and have a nice day.